Hey guys, how are we doing today? This is Wally with LearnerNet.com, and if you're watching this video, you're wanting to create your very first website online using WordPress, and that's what we're going to do step by step using A2 hosting. So in this A2 hosting review for WordPress hosting, we're going to be doing a complete full tutorial for 2019 going forward to help you guys to get off to a really good start. The things that we're going to be really covering today, we're going to be looking at how to help you guys to save money with their hosting plans itself. We're going to be also talking about like performance and also customer service and uptime, all of which are extremely important to get you guys off to a really good start. So what you'll notice off back, guys, is that what you absolutely need to get started online is a web hosting provider. And today we're recommending A2 Hosting for a number of reasons. One, they have extremely great customer service that's 24/7. They have amazing uptime on their servers, and they perform very, very fast with page loads, which is a great factor per Google. Another reason that we recommend them, especially for beginners, is that they're extremely inexpensive. They're very cheap to get started with. And today, by using the links below, guys, if you click the links that are right below, you get a deep discount on their web hosting today with A2 hosting with 63% off. So click the links that are right below. That way you can get everything off to a really great start, guys. And we can get you on your way to creating your WordPress website today. If you guys are new here to this channel for LearnerNet.com, hit the subscribe button along with the bell, and that way any future videos, guys, that I put up, you'll be sure to receive them. So A2 Hosting has been around for a very long time, and they've had a track record with amazing customer service, as I mentioned in the very beginning. They do have different types of web hosting itself. There's shared hosting, WordPress hosting, VPS hosting, reseller hosting, and dedicated hosting itself, all of which are extremely reliable and very inexpensive for all pockets. Today, what I recommend you guys to do for your web hosting itself is we're going to look at first what they have in the way of shared hosting itself. And I'm going to tell you which of the plans that'll save you the most money for your buck. That way you guys can get started creating your WordPress website itself. So if we click on the shared hosting icon there itself, you'll see that A2 Hosting has three main plans that you can select from. Now, the light plan is really ideally for beginners, people that just want to create one website online. If you're an affiliate marketer, network marketer, perhaps a developer, and you need to create multiple websites online for a different project or maybe for your home businesses, then I recommend going with either the Swift or the Turbo plans itself, as these will give you more resources to be able to create your websites online. And also you'll be able to have unlimited access to databases, storage, and also transfers itself. Keep in mind that with A2 hosting, guys, when you create your WordPress website, the awesome thing is that you have access to free SSL certificates. And these are great because Google in 2018 made an extremely important announcement that for websites that do not have SSL certificates will, one, rank lower in the search engines, and two, be marked unsecure by Chrome as well. And so visitors that land on your page itself, if it doesn't have an SSL certificate, then Google is going to mark them unsecure itself. And so A2 Hosting understands that. And when you guys create your WordPress website today using A2 Hosting, you're going to be getting access to free SSL certificates. I'm going to show you guys how to use the cPanel itself, the control panel. It's really where you manage your website itself and be able to add on domains and make changes and things of that nature, guys. So sit back and follow this step by step, and that way you guys will see how to create your very own WordPress website within a few short minutes. So what you want to do right now, guys, is if you've already clicked on the links that are right below, you just want to select the plan that'll be best for you. Which of these plans will be ideally for you? If you're a beginner and this is going to be your very first website itself, I highly recommend just using the light plan itself. When you do that, you're going to be getting it for $2.96 per month. This is an amazing discount from the $7.99 that it originally cost, and you're going to be receiving a deep discount of 63% off of your web hosting today. So to do that, simply just click on where it says Get Light. And keep in mind, guys, that A2 Hosting has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So for any reason at all that you feel that A2 Hosting is not for you, you can pick up the phone, call their customer support. They're extremely helpful, courteous, very knowledgeable about WordPress. If you call them up and you feel that for some reason A2 Hosting is not for you, you can get your money 100% back for your web hosting fees that you've been charged. But again, I don't think you'll use it because, again, they're a really, really amazing web hosting provider. So once you select the light plan itself, you're going to drop down, and what you're going to be prompted to do is enter a domain name itself. So basically what you want to do is type in the .com or the .net, .org, whatever the top level domain name itself that you want to register with A2 Hosting. You can use any extension that you want, but you just want to make sure that that very extension is available. And if you need like a few seconds or a minute to think about the domain name that you want to select, you can just hit the pause button and I'll be right here. Okay, guys, so hopefully you've done that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to key in one that I'm going to use for this A2 Hosting review for WordPress hosting. And that way you guys will be able to see how is it that you can create your very own WordPress website. So for the purpose of this A2 Hosting review for WordPress hosting, we're going to be using the domain bestcoldbeer.com. Really catchy domain name. Everybody likes beer. That's what we're going to be creating our WordPress website with, using this particular domain. So I'm gonna register the .com of this. I'm going to be using that. So I'm going to plug in .com as the extension, hit use, and then we're going to proceed to the very next page. Okay, guys, so right now for the light plan itself, what you're going to see is that you're going to see all of the features that come with the light web hosting plan itself for A2 Hosting. On the right side itself, you see everything itemized. And this pricing that you're seeing is if you didn't have the 63% off discount. But once it's discounted, you're getting it for amazing $106.43. Not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but for 3 years. So that's an amazing savings. Most web hosting providers out there typically charge about $60 for the first year itself. But again, for 3 years, you can purchase 3 years of web hosting with A2 Hosting and get it for only $106.43. So it's an amazing deal. But if you don't want to purchase for 3 years up front, what you can do is just click right here on this drop down and go to, I recommend at least 12 months. Do that. And you're going to get it for $39.92, which is crazy cheap. Okay, so if you leave it right there, your outdoor expense will be only $39.92. So you're still getting that deep discount, but you're only purchasing 1 year of hosting itself. Amazing. So when you drop down, you're going to drop all the way down. There's some optional tabs that you can click. This is extremely important right here with server location itself. You can leave this with no backups. There are plugins that you can install to do that for you. With server location itself, there are 4 different options that you guys will have for A2 Hosting. There's 2 server or data centers in the US, one in Arizona and one in Michigan. I recommend just selecting the one that's closest to you if you're in the US. But if you're in Europe and you're watching this A2 Hosting review, you should select this one for Europe, and likewise Asia, the one that's in Singapore. So for the purpose of this review, I'm going to select the one that's in Michigan, as that's the one that's closest to me. And with this drop down right here for A2 Website Builder, You can leave it none because today I'm going to be showing you step by step how to add on domains and how to create the actual WordPress website using A2 hosting. But if I wasn't doing this tutorial and you were just, doing it by yourself, then what you would do is select their actual, builder itself, but you don't need that. You can do this, for free. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Okay. All right. So with Let's Encrypt, you're going to be getting that free SSL certificate. As I mentioned before, guys, it's really important, especially if you're going to be selling like products and services on your website, or perhaps creating like an online store, like e-commerce store, where you're going to be selling products and people have to input like their debit or credit card information. So it's really good to be able to have that Let's Encrypt SSL certificate that'll be provided to you 100% free through A2 Hostings web hosting itself. You can leave that just as it is. This option right here for auto install application, guys, what it is you can have A2 Hosting install WordPress for you. You can do that by selecting this option right here. It's a WordPress optimized platform itself. If you do that, A2 Hosting will do what's called hardening. And what that does basically adds an additional layer of security to your website, which is amazing. And you could do that and allow them to do it. But again, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it. So what you can do is just select none. But for future references, if you want to create, WordPress websites, you can select that option with A2 Hosting. And again, they will install it for you, which is amazing. Great, guys. So once you do that, you're going to see everything itemized on the side. And of course, for the 1 year, before the actual discount itself, it's $107.88. But if you drop down, of course, with the discount that you guys are taking advantage of with the link that's right below in the descriptions portion of this video, you're going to be getting it for only $39.92 for your first year, which is an amazing savings in comparison to most web hosting providers out there that charge on average about $60 to $70 for your very first year. So that's why I recommend A2 Hosting today in this hosting, this WordPress hosting review. So you want to click on continue. And there's just a reminder about the 30-day 100% money back guarantee. And when you do that, guys, you're going to have some other options that come here. And once you finish, just hit continue. And then A2 Hosting is going to create the website for you. You're going to get some information to your email. It's going to have details to your cPanel, as well as some other information that you're going to absolutely need to finish up the process of creating your website itself. So now, once you do that, you're going to get a link that's going to give you access to your cPanel. And when you do that, you're going to log into your cPanel, and it's going to look like this. And when you do that, guys, you log into your cPanel credentials that you're going to get to your email. You're going to drop all the way down to where it says add on domains. And I'm going to show you guys how to create the actual website itself. So we're going to type in best cold beer. And this is what you would do if you guys were like adding on a domain itself, creating your very first website itself. Of course, A2 Hosting will, install WordPress for you, for your domain itself. And that's always an option that you can do when you get signed up. But I'm going to show you guys how to do that going forward, how to, access your cPanel as we've logged into it. Basically, with your cPanel, you're going to have your domain name itself, which will be best, like in this case, it'll be bestcoldbeer.com/cPanel. Then you'll log into it, and you'll have an admin and your password that's provided for you. And you can always go in and change that, guys, as well. All right. So what I'm going to do here in this case is I'm going to hit the add domain option right here. And once I do that, it's going to take a few seconds to do that. And once it does that and it adds the domain name to my account, my cPanel account itself, it's taking a second to do that. The next step itself is to install WordPress on that domain itself. And so that's what we're going to do next for A2 hosting. So we're just going to give it a few seconds to do it. Great. So now it's been, says the add-on domain bestcoldbeer.com has been created. Great. So that's done. And that information is there. So the next step, guys, is to drop all the way down in cPanel. And now we're going to be looking for WordPress. So you click on WordPress, you'll see different scripts here that you can use to install, softwares on the domain itself. But for the purpose of this A2 hosting review, we're going to be using WordPress to do it. Okay, so click on install now. And what we're going to do now is look for bestcoldbeer.com, and you're going to add it there. And then right here, what we're going to do is you're going to see WP here in directory. You want to delete it. The reason you want to delete it, guys, is because when you install WordPress on bestcoldbeer.com or your particular domain itself that you've registered, if you have that WP following, what you're going to have when you install WordPress is bestcoldbeer.com/WP. And you don't want that. You want it to just read bestcoldbeer.com, and that's it. And so when you drop down here where it says my blog, for the site name itself, I can title it Best Cold Beer, and this is just an example, guys. And then where it says site description, which is going to be basically the tagline, I could have something like the best place to get your cold beer. And this is just a mere example. Whatever it is your website theme is going to be, you can put whatever tagline there itself. And basically once the website itself goes live, then you'll see that there as well. So for the purposes of this particular tutorial for A2 hosting, I'm just going to plug in best cold beer, and then for the tagline itself, the best place to get your cold beer. And you can switch it up however you like. The very next section itself on the admin account, this is where you're going to set up a password to actually log into your WordPress website. So in this case, I'm just going to use best cold beer altogether. Then I'm going to create a password. So one can be auto-generated for you, which is good, but obviously you want to get something that, you'll remember. I recommend doing, guys, like 9, 10 characters, something like that, and include like some numbers and symbols in the actual password itself, just to make it extremely difficult. Make it a strong password. Make sure that it says green, and that way you're good to go. You want to enter here a admin email. This is the email that in the event you need to, if you get locked out of your WordPress site itself, or you need to receive like communications from WordPress or any updates, any information regarding the actual domain itself, then this is where you want that communication to go to. So for the purpose of this particular tutorial, I'm just going to use versus, bestcoldbeer@gmail.com or something like that. I'm just going to use learnanet.com Gmail, just for the purposes of this tutorial. You can put in whatever email that you want in there. You can put in a business email, you can put in a personal email, whatever email you want to put in there, you can use that for your WordPress website. It just needs to be a email that works, that you actually check and have access to, and that way you can receive any communications from WordPress, any updates and things of that nature. So you can leave that in English, or you can change the language if you want to, if you speak another language and you would prefer to see the information in that language right now. Now, if you drop to the very bottom, guys, you're going to see themes. And these are some themes that you'll have access to right here. You can select one of these. All of these are free. You can see examples of them if you want to by just clicking like demo, for example. And you can see what that theme itself would look like, right? So these are really, really nice, clean themes right here that you could use, but you don't have to select one right now. You can always do that later. So if you want to just glance, you can see, again, different themes that you'll have access to that are like premium themes that they'll actually give you for free right here. But again, you can do these later on, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in this A2 hosting review. Okay, so right now, the very next step is to type in your email again. And what you're going to do is when you install WordPress, you're going to get an email to your, you're going to get an email from WordPress that WordPress has been installed for this particular domain itself. So you want to, again, put in the right email there, hit install. And once you guys do that, it's just going to take a few seconds to do that. And again, as you're creating your own WordPress website with A2 hosting, it'll look like this. Okay, great. So this is the setup itself for WordPress. Whenever you want to add on additional domains itself, I know in this case with the A2 hosting, we just got the light plan itself. But if you had like the Swift or Turbo, where you're able to add like additional domains itself, you're going to follow that same process that I showed you guys today to add on a domain and then install WordPress on that domain, and you'll get this screen that I have right here. So far, the website right now is now live itself. If you want to see what it looks like live, you can simply just click on it. And now it's live. Great. So congratulations. You now have a live website created through A2 hosting. Great. And so you can see the tagline that I was talking about right now. This is just a default post right there, which you can delete. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But again, this is what it looks like. So anyway, what you want to do right now is obviously customize the website itself. And that's something that you can do a little bit later. I'll show you a few things here that you can do to really get it going. One of the first things that I like to do is to change the theme itself. I mean, obviously you guys saw that theme that was, up there. It wasn't that pretty of a theme. It's just a default theme that WordPress gives you by default. You'll see these. They're always there anytime you install a new WordPress site with the web host. These are like the top 3 that normally, pop up. And if you want to see what they look like, you can just hit the preview button right there. And again, it'll show you what it looks like if you wanted to use that particular theme for your WordPress website. So again, you can see this right here. You have this very generic post that always pops up for every installation of WordPress. But again, it's very, bland itself. So I don't want to use this particular theme itself. You can go to add new, guys, and you can type in, you'll see different themes itself that you have access to. I mean, there are literally thousands upon thousands of themes that you have access to. If you click on popular, you can see some popular themes that people, like to use. Astra is a really, really nice one that I've used on a couple of websites that I've created online. It's a really, really nice one. So you guys get the picture. It's really just about the overall theme of your website itself, whatever it is that your business is about. You can actually type in, like if you have something regarding like, fitness, what have you, you can type in that word. If it's something about like weight loss, and you can get themes that have to deal with, or that deal with fitness itself, as you guys can see here. If you're into like weight loss, you can type in that as well. If you're into, I don't know, let's say construction, whatever the overall theme is, you can type it inside of there, guys. And as you can see, just to narrow it down so you don't have to go page by page, with all these options there, to save you a whole deal of time by doing it this way. And that way you can, find a theme that, you want to install. For the purpose of this WordPress tutorial with A2 hosting, I'm going to be using a theme that I really, really like. It's very SEO friendly. It's called Fredo, or Fredo, if I'm pronouncing it right. So this is one that I use for a lot of websites that I have online right now, blogs that I've created. And I just really like it. It's a very clean theme itself for WordPress, and it's very good for SEO. Gets picked up in Google very well. So it's very good to just pick a simple theme itself that's not so heavy. And again, this particular theme is the one that I've selected. So if you want to see what it looks like, guys, just click on Visit Site. And again, if you have any questions about this A2 Hosting review, about creating this WordPress website, questions about themes, plugins, things like that, you can drop your comments down below and try to respond to them in a very timely manner, guys. So again, you can see that versus having that plain, white theme that, was at default. Now you can see that, there's some color in it right now, right? So, obviously the next step would be to add like plugins and then thereafter to start creating content, guys. So that's really what it's about, creating, content with your WordPress website itself. If you go back to your dashboard, if you go back to your dashboard, we want to click on install plugins, being that this is a brand spanking new WordPress website. You're going to have this Hello Dolly plugin itself. It's installed on every WordPress blog itself. I never keep it because I don't need it, so I just delete it. Escamet anti-spam. It's a really nice anti-spam WordPress plugin that's automatically installed on WordPress sites itself. It's been installed like well over 5 million times by users online, so it's a very reliable anti-spam one, and it's great. But I'm going to use a different one that I really like using, and it's doesn't require like API key or anything like that. So if you just click on Add New, and what I wanted to show you guys, in addition to selecting themes, is plugins, as I mentioned before. It's really good to have really good plugins, on your website itself. One good one that you want to look for is a really nice spam or anti-spam plugin itself. Obviously once you start creating content, on your website itself, you will get spam related comments on your websites itself. And so to save you guys a lot of time and frustration, you need to install a really good anti-spam plugin itself. Of course, Escamet is by default installed, and I mentioned that over 5 million people have it, which is great. But I like to use this one right here. It's called Anti-Spam, and it's by Web Vitali. It's really nice. It's worked very, very well for me, and it's probably blocked like well over 1,000 spam-related comments itself. So can you imagine what it would, how much time would be involved, guys, in moderating 1,000 comments? So again, you need to have that particular plugin on. Another great plugin, guys, that I recommend installing on your WordPress website is Yoast. Yoast is really great for SEO. Once you start creating your post online, they'll share with you different metrics for your keyword density, like how many times your keyword is actually mentioned in your post itself. They also help you with your H2s, as well as some other metrics which are extremely important when creating and trying to rank for different keywords, be it general or even long tail keywords itself. So Yoast is an absolute must plugin that I definitely recommend adding on it. Another one that I like to install on my websites is just type in the word broken link. This is Broken Link Checker, and this is really great in the event that you link to a website that's probably no longer online, or maybe the actual webmaster has updated their link itself. Maybe they've changed the permalink itself, and that's something we're going to talk about very shortly. Permalinks itself, what they are, basically with the URL. So I'm not going to install all of the plugins that I have, but typically on my blogs itself, I have a good 7 plugins, more or less, on my websites itself. I don't think that you need to have tons, of plugins on your website. because plugins itself are like apps, for phones. If you have too many of them, it could slow, your phone or your website down. And obviously, you don't need a lot of them, but these are some essential ones that you can get started with. A really nice one to get as well. Let me go to add new. Sorry, go back to add new, and let me go to. Let me type in cache. This is a really nice plugin itself to install. It's really awesome for helping you to have better page loads, caching your files, and things of that nature. So I definitely recommend either installing Lightspeed or W3 Total Cache itself. They're extremely nice. This is a really nice one as well, but you definitely should have at least one cache plugin on your website itself. So let's go ahead and just install for this example. Let's go with WP Super Cache just to switch it up. They all work and function very similarly. Some people prefer WP Super Cache, others prefer W3 Total Cache or Lightspeed. These are like the top three that I'll say that most people tend to install. This is a really nice one as well. But anyway, you just want to install one of them. And again, this will help with the speed of your website itself across the board itself, okay? So once you do that, you can continue to install plugins if you like. But something else that I wanted to share with you guys is permalinks. Now, your permalink is simply going to be like, for example, you're going to have like in this example right here for this WordPress website that we've created, we have bestcoldbeer.com / the permalink itself. As you can see, you have the plain. We don't want that. We don't want any numbers, nothing like that crazy like in the actual domain name itself. I want something that's really great for SEO itself. So what I recommend using is postname, because if you have a website, if I'm going to be talking about like, I don't know, Miller Lite, my best Miller Lite, brand or whatever it is that you're going to be talking about on your website for the theme or topic that you're going to be discussing, you want to make sure that you use the keyword itself in the actual permalink itself. And so I think it's better and it's cleaner to use something like that. It'll be a lot easier for your visitors to remember. So once you do that and you change it to post name, hit save changes, and you're pretty much done, with that, guys. So what I wanted to do in this WordPress tutorial is to help you guys appreciate again with A2 Hosting, their customer service. They have 24/7 customer support, guys. They're extremely helpful. You're going to find that, if you have any questions about your web hosting services itself, all you need to do is pick up the phone, guys, and give them a ring. They're really fast chat service itself. Really great performance with their servers. I think A2 Hosting is a really great, reliable web hosting provider for beginners. And even if you want to migrate your website over to A2 Hosting, you can do that 100% free, guys. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this A2 Hosting review for WordPress hosting. What did you guys think about this tutorial? Was it thorough? Were you able to follow step by step and create your website today? Was there something left out that maybe you didn't understand? Give me your thoughts right below. I would love to hear them. And also give this video a like if you got any value from this A2 Hosting review. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, this is Wally with LearningNet.com. I hope you guys much success in your endeavors for creating future